What does it take to conquer the world? Not in territory, but in mindset. Alexander the Great didn't become one of history's most legendary leaders because he had the biggest army or the safest path. He became great because he carried a mindset that refused to accept limitations, even when the entire world expected him to fail. Today, we explore that exact mindset and what you can learn from it. When Alexander was born in 356 BC, the world didn't feel small, but it was still limited. To the Greeks, the known world was a wide but incomplete map. City-states around the Aegean, the powerful Persian Empire stretching deep into Asia, Egypt to the south, and vague rumors of strange lands far beyond. They didn't believe the world simply ended at the Mediterranean Sea, but most people would live and die without ever leaving their region. For them, the world was not a globe to be explored, but a patchwork of kingdoms, wars, and trade routes. Alexander grew up on the edge of this known world in Macedonia, a place that many civilized Greeks still looked down on. From the very beginning, his life was a contradiction. Half outsider, half heir to a kingdom that dreamed of something bigger. As a boy, Alexander didn't just hear about distant lands. He sat at the feet of Aristotle, one of the greatest philosophers who ever lived, and learned about geography, myth, history, and the nature of power. He studied Homer's Iliad like a sacred text, and saw himself in Achilles, the hero who chose glory over a long, quiet life. Most people were content to live inside the borders they were born into. Alexander wasn't. From a young age, his mind was already reaching beyond the edges of the map. If you accept the limits others place on you, you will live by their imagination, not your own. Alexander had battles where he was outnumbered 5-1. He had nights where his commanders told him, "It's impossible." He had moments where turning back would have been the safest, most logical decision. But Alexander listened to something else, his own conviction. He believed that the person with the strongest mind, not the largest army, determines the outcome. And again, this belief proved true. The lesson here is, self-trust is not arrogance. It's the quiet confidence that you will find a way, even when logic says you shouldn't. After years of victory, conquering Persia, Egypt, and beyond, many believed his journey was complete. The world as they knew it was already his. But Alexander didn't stop, because his mission was never about owning territory. It was about expanding possibility. Every time he broke a boundary, he asked a simple question: what lies beyond? And that question drove him further than any empire before him. The strongest minds are not obsessed with success. They're obsessed with what lies beyond success. Whether it was crossing the Hindu Kush, fighting war elephants in India, or pushing through exhaustion that broke entire armies, Alexander faced the impossible often. And in those moments, he relied on one principle: the obstacle is the path. If something was difficult, he didn't retreat. He leaned into it. He believed that struggle was not a reason to stop, but a reason to continue. A strong mind does not fear difficulty. It recognizes it as the doorway to transformation. Alexander's empire eventually fell, but his mindset didn't. Because you don't need a sword, or an army, or a throne to use his philosophy. You need only two things: courage
and direction. The courage to begin and the direction to keep moving. You might never conquer land, but you can conquer fear, self-doubt, and every limitation inherited from the world around you. And that is what makes someone truly unstoppable. If Alexander the Great proved anything, it's this: your world expands in proportion to your courage. Thank you for watching. If you found value in this video, leave a like, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because more timeless lessons from history's greatest minds are coming soon.